Before kingdoms fell, before history learned to write our names, a guardian was born in silence. Not of flesh alone, but of storm, stone, and forgotten gods. My name is Zalmor. I walk the paths where memory still breathes, and I guard stories older than crowns, older than empires. Tonight I will tell you the legend they tried to bury. The legend of the White Wolf. They say this story should not be spoken, that some names disturb the earth when they are remembered, and some spirits listen when they are called. But silence is a second death, and I have already buried too many truths. So listen carefully, not with your ears, but with what still fears the dark inside you. I was not young when the last Dacian stones still whispered, and I was not old when their fires turned to ash. I did not fight in their wars. I watched them. I listened. I remembered. Because some stories do not belong to time, they belong to wounds. Before the world learned to measure itself in empires, there was a people who measured life in courage. They carved their homes into mountains. They prayed beneath open skies. They carried the wolf upon their banners. Not as a beast, but as a brother. They believed the soul does not die. It only changes its path. And above them all stood Zalmoxis, the one who promised that fear itself could be unlearned. It was in an age when the wind carried the smell of war, tribes surrounded, blood promised by distant kings, the sky heavy with omens. On the sacred mountain, Zalmoxis answered, not with words, but with fire. Lightning tore the heavens open. Stone screamed, snow burned like silver flame, and from the wound of the world he rose, the White Wolf. His body shaped by storm, his bones forged from mountain, his breath colder than death. And yet, his eyes carried sorrow, as if he already knew how this story would end. He walked the high ridges when armies gathered. He drank from rivers before they turned red. He stood behind kings who pretended not to tremble. And wherever his shadow fell, men remembered who they were. Blades felt lighter, pain slower, death uncertain. They said the White Wolf did not protect bodies. He protected meaning. As long as he watched, the Dacians believed the world still made sense. Then came the sound no mountain can forget. Iron drums roll. The river crossed itself with blood. The sky learned the color of smoke. Sarmizegatusa burned like a dying star. And on the cliffs above the final flames, the White Wolf stood, still, silent, watching a people become memory. He did not howl, not yet. When Decibel fell, when the last banners sank into ash, the mountain itself shuddered, and the wolf finally spoke. Not in a voice, but in a wound carved into the air, an echo so deep that even stone tried to escape it. Then nothing. No tracks, no shadow, no breath upon the snow. Only absence where a god-born guardian once stood. Rome called it victory, history called it conquest, but the mountains call it a lie. Because even now, when winter strangles the forests and silence grows too heavy, shepherds hear something beneath the wind. Not a sound, a memory, a presence moving under the bones of the world. Deep, patient, waiting. They do not say his name. Names are dangerous. Some guardians do not defend kingdoms. They defend the idea that we were once more than survivors. As long as the Carpathians remain, as long as stone remembers fire, the White Wolf is not gone. Only hidden, where forgetting cannot reach him. And I will remain here, by this dying fire, telling his story, until silence learns to fear it. Sleep lightly, the mountains are still watching.